Hi guys, Charles Dove here with another video, and today we're going to be going over the importance of SOP, standard operating procedures, how your business works, how it operates, how everything from A to Z is handled. These things are in everybody's business. Everybody has a procedure for sending an email, for onboarding a client, for setting an appointment, whatever text they're sending, whatever digital assets they're sending, those are standard operating procedures. So if you're coming into this already knowing about how that works, great. If you don't, there you go. We're going to be going over how I've structured my SOPs and how I have actually created a workspace here on Notion to manage all of my procedures and manage how my team digests and take this information in. Because in every business, there's different departments. Obviously, you have a support and you have a technical team, you have an accounting department, maybe you have something that requires ongoing management or oversight. You could be running a brick and mortar business, you could be running a software company. Whatever the case is, every business has a process. So if we take a look here, this is a template that I've used, and if you guys would like to grab a template, you're more than welcome to inquire. Just leave a comment below. Just make sure you like the video and subscribe so I feel incentivized to give you the content. Just kidding. Just leave a comment. In any case, I'm going to show you guys how you can actually, if you have processes or if you're just kind of running and winging everything, I'm going to show you how to structure everything from the beginning, turn it into a diagram on Miro to create a board. These terms, don't worry, we're going to use ChatGPT to create a prompt to feed it information, and then we're going to create a Miro board, a diagram that allows you to understand your company's flow. And then we're going to reverse engineer it, and we're going to turn it into pieces, we're going to turn into SOPs, standard operating procedures here on this page. And then once those are done, you're then going to be able to go ahead and create your training videos. So if we look here, we have onboarding, we have, ignore all that, we have training videos, we have attachment to the Miro board. So it's same thing when it comes to sales. We're just going to focus on the support and virtual assistant operations hub. So first thing we're going to go over to ChatGPT. Great, and all we're going to do, I'm going to keep this really simple. How to organize it all, how to create the board, how to create the SOPs, and then the training videos are up to you. So we're going to dictate here. We're going to go into, I need to create, first off, you're a Miro board prompting expert. I'm going to start with that. And I need you to help me create a diagram for my business. I sell coffee, and I need to teach my new employee, my new manager, how to operate in a master flow. They start at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard. First thing is to come in, make sure the lights are on, make sure the light up signs are on, and I need them to check all the resources, check everything from coffee grounds to double checking the machines are tight, making sure the floors are swept the night before, making sure the bathrooms are clean, and I need them to make sure that the employees show up on time at 9 a.m. EST, and I need the manager to clock in on the tracking software in the morning. And I need them from Monday through Friday, because that's when we're open, to follow this and to put in a morning notice in our company Slack in the attendance channel, and I need them to, at the end of every day, leave an attendance note with company notes and information about how the day went. And I need a weekly report on the performance of the 3 employees that we currently have: John Doe, Timmy, and Samantha. And I need that process followed every week, every day, and I need at the end of the week, I need you to go through all the inventory and create a list of the things that we need to have figured out by the end, that we need to have ordered and purchased for the following week. Those are simple SOPs, and I need you to create a Miro board prompt for a diagram. Okay, so we're going to let that process and it's going to dictate everything. And then you'll see what we do next. We're going to open up Miro and we're going to plug in the prompt after we send it and watch. So we're going to send it now. So now that that's done, it's actually wanted to, ChatGPT is awesome, but we're just going to use Miro and we're going to come here and you're going to open up Miro, open up a new board, sidekicks, and you're going to put in the prompt. And we're just going to let it process now. Okay, let's give it a sec. So it's actually creating this all real time now. Okay, it's connecting pieces, it's doing its thing. Yeah, there's a lot of information that I think I gave it. That's probably why. Okay, what's going on up here? Okay, let's add it to the canvas. End of week. So this is daily. Manager arrives, clock in, turn on lights. Okay, so as you can see, it took all my verbal SOPs with the prompt that I set up through ChatGPT, and it created the prompt. So I got the diagram here now. This is the framework. All right, great. So cool part is, if this is the master flow, I'm not going to bore you guys with details, but what I normally do now is I'll come in and I'll do something like this. So let me zoom in. Let me do this. I usually would create little lines coming out with arrows, and then I'd build out individual flows. So if this is like managerial, then I'll have like a flow for employees that are being managed by the manager, and so on and so forth. Sometimes I just create a whole flow. Maybe I'll just create a different board for every different operation behind the scenes. You can really use it however you'd like. But for me, this is just the example. So once this is done, this gives you a really good idea of how your business is operating, and you can visually see it, right? So now it gives you something tangible that you can dissect and start creating some SOPs for. So now, right, if this seems like it would fall under management and oversight. So you would be able to create SOPs for your manager. So management SOPs, daily AM and PM checks, weekly checks, and then you could create different SOPs, right? You could create a different department for your employees, or you could just have different SOPs here that your employees have access to. Employee SOPs, AM check, PM checks. Maybe you want them to clock in the same way that the manager does. And SOPs, I'm going to show you guys a really simple structure of how I've went about this. And if you guys want, screenshot it. If you want a template, just feel free to ask. But essentially, you would just follow what's the purpose, who's the SOP for, overview, step-by-step instructions, quality control check, escalation protocols. So you're not hit up for every single thing that happens that's going wrong. You have a protocol for escalation if it requires, what requires an escalated response, and record keeping, version control, so you can outline who built it and when. And then you build videos around these things. So they have the video trainings, they have the SOPs, and this way you're able to document everything, because if you're running your business, you're not duplicatable unless you have systems. Systems are what's going to allow you to scale your operation. These things are 100% necessary. Even if it's just, if you're running your own business, you have a process. The reason you would document them is so you're clear, so you have something to follow. You have a manual of how you're running your business. Maybe you sell your business. These are things that investors may look at. It's not obviously your books, but that's a whole other conversation. When you're bringing in employees, training somebody, spending all this time invested on Zoom calls, in-person meetings, they need to be documented. Otherwise, you're going to be spending that same time every time you bring in somebody. Maybe they weren't even the right hire. You wasted all the time. So it's best you document them. So you never have to do these things over and over and over. You save so much time, and time is really all you have. This is how you scale your operation. So this is, I think this was a really good guide. This is how I build my SOPs, and how I structure my builds. If you guys have any questions on this stuff or you'd like some insight on this, I would love to connect. You could drop a comment below and I can shoot you over my calendar booking and we can chat. But this is the sauce. And I'm going to leave you guys with some applicable reasons to use these SOPs. If you're looking to bring on somebody for your coffee shop, a manager, your employees, this is a perfect example. Now, I'm going to take it a step further, and I think you can leave if you got all the value you needed here. Great. We're going to come down here, and we're going to just take this, and we're going to come into here. We're going to say, turn this template into the AM and PM check for the manager at the coffee shop. Cool. Drop it, paste, boom, let it process. So it was processed. I'm going to come through. I'm going to delete all this nonsense. We're going to paste this. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And there you go. You have your SOP documented. You didn't have to, you thought through it, you spoke through it, the AI processed everything else, and then you just make sure everything is tight. Everything we spoke about is already here. It's already all put together for you. All you got to do is just make sure it's proper. Make sure the AI didn't, hallucinate. Version 1, Charles Dove. And there you go. So I think this is really good for people looking to bring in virtual assistants into their companies. And if you're looking to bring in a support VA, accounting VA, technology VA, somebody's going to build automations for you, you're able to document a lot of these things so they understand how you run your business. Spend more time actually working on the business. This is working on the business rather than working in the business. The manager and the employees are working the business for you. They're working in the business. You're working on the business. You're building the framework that makes the business so valuable. These are the things, when not left documented, leave so much time spent it's just wasted time. So I hope you guys got a crap ton of value out of this. I've painstakingly have made so many mistakes in my career of working and as an entrepreneur, right? Self-employed, now turning into business owner. You have to go through all the seasons in order to become somebody who's capable of working on the business and being a business owner rather than a business operator, right? Because self-employed means you're an employee of your own business. You're an employee. You're a glorified employee who's handling everything rather than scaling strategically and building out processes that's going to allow you to be the business owner. These are the things you need to learn, right? I would love to get into P&Ls, profit and losses, accounting stuff. I'm not an accountant, not a lawyer, not any of that. I'm just somebody who's been in business started my first business at 16. I'm 28 now, so it's been 12 years of a lot of trial and error. And these are very simple things that I wish I was taught when I began. And maybe you're not at the level of needing this stuff, but you are going to, if you continue long enough, you're going to come to a point where somebody's talking about SOPs. What the heck's an SOP? What's a SOP? Standard operating procedure. You're going to also hear KPI, key performance indicators. What are key performance indicators that your company averages? Like speed to support ticket. Like how long does it take for a support employee to handle that ticket? On average in your company, that's a key performing indicator that needs to be met every week, every month, every year. Those are key performance indicators that your employees need to handle. In this case, your KPI is making sure that your manager shows up at 7 a.m. on average every day. Key performance indicator is that they show up 7 a.m. and they clock out at this time and all these things are done. Very poor example. KPIs are really good for more numbers oriented, sales, and sales is where KPIs really come in. But they're used across the board in all departments of a company. So I was really excited making this video, and I love getting into technology and systems, something so basic, but the organization structure, the way that you build these things is, I think, the ChatGPT to the Miro board to the Notion template, like the ChatGPT and Miro board using the prompts, like to build the flow and see it and the reverse engineer it. I think that's the real sauce here. The template's great, but you can use that ideology for a lot of other things as well. So thanks for watching. Leave a comment if you'd like to connect, like the video, and subscribe for more content like this. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye for now.